Fighting games are waiting a day or two for Avatar Legends and then the Toukon beta now in that
Yeah,
awkward anticipatory period.
yeah. I forgot to ask this all off recording, so I guess I'll pose it as a part of FGA now. So the Humble Bundle thing, the Evo bundle for Arxis, was supposed to end like 3 days ago, actually like 5 days ago, and apparently it's going for 4 more days. Do you know what the fuck was up with that? Did they just make it
Uh,
longer?
they do sometimes extend it. Sometimes they extend it because it's a very popular bundle, so they're just going to keep the sales rolling. Other times they extend it because there's a mistake and they put in a game that wasn't supposed to be in there, or conversely, they left out a game that's supposed to be in there,
Ah,
and they'll
okay.
extend it if that happens.
Okay. Cause yeah, I'm still thinking about picking that up, especially now that since I didn't run out of time. But I thought about like, okay, well, there's games in here that I own, which I would have to give the codes away to, and like, how do I explain to other friends who are not pink what the fuck these games are? And I went, okay, well, Exert is the last true anime fighting game for a week.
That would mean nothing to them. They're all anime
Yeah,
fighting
no,
games to them.
I know, but even then, like even that is wrong now because it's only that for a week. Like at the end of this week, it will not be.
Yeah.
Because like despite like I guess the fucking the argument about Avatar, the real one, continues
Hmm.
into the new millennia, where Avatar is coming back to resurrect anime fighting games.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and I am very excited to get my grease zoom hits on it tomorrow, especially to get into the lab with Toph.
Yeah.
Mm. I believe in the meantime, or perhaps while we were talking on last FGA, I think this was while we were talking on last FGA. I did see the Kyoshi actual gameplay trailer, and I was rather shocked to see Kyoshi's not. She doesn't look like she's going to be a big body grappler, even though she's big body. She looks like she's actually a lot of movement to her.
Oh yeah. You brought that up.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting for a big body character and can perhaps help her to be not quite so vulnerable to ridiculous mix-up situations.
Maybe.
I I I think they kind of knew though, because Zahir in his trailer is just jumping straight up and hitting Kyoshi with air-based overheads that clearly would not land on any other character. Because
Yeah.
Zahir's jump hasn't even peaked yet, and he's hitting her with air normals.
Yeah.
So I think they know.
Probably. Oh yeah, we also need to talk about the controversy around Avatar. That it isn't the fact of whether or not Avatar is an anime. I mean,
Yes, that thing. That particular issue, which
so for those not in the know, Mike Zemont, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't fucking know. I don't particularly care, honestly. But yeah,
he doesn't deserve a proper pronunciation.
Mike Z is on the Avatar team
Mm-hmm. Which
now.
was
Yeah,
a little bit of a shock because I think a lot of people would have assumed he was either poo-pooed out of the games industry or was just going to try and make his own studio again.
yeah. Now the thing here is, I don't know if you looked into the verbiage of his employment at the Avatar team.
I haven't.
He contributed to the code, which can mean anything from
Hmm.
which can mean anything from we built some of the stuff. Which, by the way, Mike Z was employed at the people that worked on. I want to say Blazing Chrome, but that's the conscious spiritual successor. Uh, Blazing Strikes, something like that. Whatever. Diesel Legacy, maybe I forget. Whatever. There was this other team or other game that this team was working on. Uh, and they used to employ Mike Z just straight up. And then they got bought out by the people who owned the rights to the Avatar fighting game. And Mike Z was let go. And so
Yes.
basically, he's right now a contractor. But whether he's a contractor because we have to give him credit because we built, the networking code off of what he did for the other game, or if he's actually contributing to this game like outright, that's not clear.
Yeah, and it'd be kind of odd if they actually did come out and say it either which way. Because even if they did say, "Hey, we're not currently employing him. It's just that we have to properly credit him for work he did in the past," you'd still get people going on social media and saying, "Don't use his work."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now what I said there when that got revealed, like, "Oh yeah, Mike Z worked on this game at some point." What I said was, "Yeah, that's a problem because Mike Z's almost as good at making fighting games as he is at being a sex pest." As a resident Skullgirls enjoyer, it's one of those things where it's like simultaneous, like, oh no, that guy's a creeper. On the other hand, it's like Avatar did feel really good. That does follow.
Yeah. Although, like, according to the exact verbiage, what I've read of it, he genuinely didn't work on the gameplay parts. What he worked on was the networking and the backend. Maybe. Both of these are maybe. You can
You know,
dive
I'd
into
be
these.
delighted to find out that he had nothing to do with the game design of Skullgirls or Avatar Legends, and that he in fact is just a code monkey, and that's it. And ordinarily I wouldn't call a coder of anything a code monkey because I think that's very demeaning. Much the same as like when you call a mechanic a grease monkey.
Yeah.
I think there's classist tones to it, but also it's seriously underestimating just how much intellect and how much thinking has to go into the work. I know it said thunking,
Yeah.
how much thinking has
Thank
to go into the work. But in the case of Mike Z, I'm perfectly fine insulting his career because fuck him.
yeah.
So ultimately, it sounds like it's just kind of a non-issue. I'm going to be honest. I think people don't care when people are watching a movie. I don't think they care as much if the cameraman's a rapist than they do if the director or one of the lead actors is a rapist.
Yeah.
Because there's a feeling when you're watching a movie that you are getting a lot of the director and actor's creative vision, and you're getting an insight into their mind. Whereas with the cameraman, there's less so that feeling. Like, especially like
See that.
let's go even further.
See.
The
Yeah.
caterer, right? Because I know you
Yes.
work in film, so obviously you can say like, well, no, the cameraman does have some input here.
That's the thing. That's exactly the thing. Like the people who are who have the most creative input for a film are the director, the writer, the director of photography, because the cameraman and DOP are separate things. But you know, the cameraman is an extension of the DOP more or less. So
Mhm.
whatever. And fuck, who am I forgetting? Not the producer. The producer is the extra fifth person, if they exist. But there's someone else I'm forgetting, some other role that is very important. Fuck. Which, by the way, the actor has like the least creative input out of all of the important creative people. Like it is your job as a director to know when to go. Yes, the actor has a better grasp on this character than I do. They can put these parts that they want into the character and it will be better. But like aside from that, the actor doesn't have a quote unquote right to have creative
Yeah.
input.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those things that differs from director to director. Because Clint Eastwood famously is very just let the actors do what they want. Comparative to, let's say, Stanley Kubrick, or who, if you went even slightly adrift with what he wants, he'd kill you.
Yeah, and he did multiple times. They were
Yeah,
those people are sorely missed.
kind of. Yeah, actually.
But yeah,
Yeah. Poor
yeah,
Shelley
like
Duvall, man.
yeah. But yeah, like the thing with the Mike Z's involvement with Avatar is that if it was more important, yes, it would be a problem. If they literally just took old code of his and they have to credit him because otherwise he could sue them, whatever, sure.
Yeah. Would you mind to pause?
Yes, give me a sec. All right, and we're back. So in the meantime,
Yeah.
I actually remembered the fourth person that I forgot. The editor. The editor is also very important for film.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, fighting games. I've scrolled past the same news 3 times. It's not actual news. It's fake news. Well, not fake
Oh.
news, but it's not news pertinent to us, and not news particularly pertinent to fighting games. So, Like generally, I try to avoid. I try to filter out stuff like here's this whatever. Like here's the results of my local, because like I don't think it
Oh
really
my
affects.
god.
Yeah. So anyway, uh, Toukon uh showed off that they're gonna be adding episode mode to Toukon. Toukon will be adding episode mode to itself.
Yes.
And not only that, but also in the beta announcement, they said that you're gonna be able to play the first half of Spider-Man's, no, not Spider-Man's actually, of the Avengers episode mode, I think.
In the beta?
Yes.
Oh, I mean that's cool. I doubt I'll do it because I don't play Arch's games for the story, but that's cool that they let you do that in the beta.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're moving past the mentality of beta. The beta needs to lock you out of every single thing except multiplayer.
Yeah. It's also neat because unless they change it in Strive, episode mode should be the like team based arcade mode. So
Oh, if it's just arcade mode, then yeah, that's cool.
yeah. Then let's see. Avatar posted their numbers for their beta.
Oh,
So they had 1.2 million matches.
okay.
The average number of matches per player was 85.
Okay,
And
that's pretty good.
and the most popular characters were I want to how the fuck am I forgetting? Whatever. Toph, Korra, Zuko, Sokka, and bloody hell, Zuko's sister, Azula.
Oh,
There we
Azula.
go. Bloody hell. Yeah.
Katara definitely seems like she had a weirder playstyle comparative to those characters. And Ong, I'm surprised that Ong's not up at the top. At the same time, Ong doesn't strike me as being Avatar's most popular character.
I mean, the thing is, with Tong, how much of the population, how much of the demographic of the Avatar Legends fighting game beta users, how much of them were from Japan, and how much of them were from the West?
I would imagine it would be mostly Westerners playing the game.
Exactly, and that's why Yang is not here.
Oh, what do you mean?
Japan loves the protagonist. The West doesn't.
Oh, okay. That is going to make a big difference. I do wonder then what the numbers were. I don't think they ever released the numbers for any of the Mortal Kombat games for Injustice, but it would be really bizarre. And come to think of it, if I saw a Mortal Kombat most played character list, I'd find it really bizarre to see Liu Kang at the top.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I like Liu. I'm fine with Liu. But Liu's not only is he the protagonist, and in several games he's downright boring. Also, half the time Liu's game design is that he's Sagat.
Yeah.
And Sagat, not the standard play style. I need to step out to blow my nose real quick. I'm sorry. I'm repeating interruptions, but my allergies are going ape shit right now.
All right, and we're back.
I do find it
yes.
Like I think with those particular Avatar numbers, like people always have to keep in mind, the function or form, right? The old Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite thing. Like, well, the forms are gone, but the functions are still here.
Yeah.
And I have been seeing people talk about, like, ever since the Balance is Just Vibes video came out, I've been seeing a lot of people specifically talk about the note that Blanca and Dhalsim are usually pretty good in a lot of Street Fighter games, but never see high player counts. And, at one point, Keats does specifically say one of the big difference makers to player counts, regardless of how weak or strong a character is are they cool or sexy?
Yeah.
And people have been talking like, Blanca and Dhalsim would probably be played like crazy if it weren't the fact that they're both ugly weirdos.
Yes.
And I find that funny within the context of Avatar, because it's not that Ong's lame. He's not. But Korra and Azula are both a lot of people's waifus.
I guess, sure.
Sokka is the designated goofball character that will always appeal to people. Zuko is the designated cool, edgy guy that will always appeal to people. And then Toph
is the best.
Like,
The Toph is just
Yeah,
the best. So
yeah, the dynamic of super strong little girl is always fun as long as you handle it like Toph does and not like Undernight does. But that's always fun, and especially because Toph's whole thing is when she's outside of a fight that she just doesn't care and she's just taking it easy.
yeah,
She also gets the Slayer lose pose, which is always an upside.
yeah,
Which, speaking of characters who would probably have massively lower player counts if they weren't cool, Slayer and Biken both.
yeah,
Biken. The funny thing is, if Biken wasn't so simultaneously cool and sexy both at the same time, she would have 0 players.
yes.
No, she'd have 1, and it'd just be you.
No, because I also like her because she's cool. So
That's true. Yeah. Like when you talk about characters, there's like Biken is the big one in terms of just like obviously with Guilty Gear, there's always talk about tourists coming in just because they think Biken's cool and sexy, or because they think that because they like brisket or they like Testament or what have you. But Biken always cracks me up because you'll still see people play a little bit. Like I don't know. My understanding is that there are still some brisket and Testament players online. Nobody plays Biken except people who are just super fans of her.
I mean, no one should suffer Strive Biken.
Mm-hmm.
The other Bikens are
That's important there. Yeah, Exard Biken was a different story, but we ain't playing Exard.
yeah, because Exort Biken was like actually cool to play. She was, an evolution of her playstyle. I don't remember what she lost between XX and Exord. So, maybe she lost the important
Parry's
stuff.
changed.
Ah,
Yeah, X2 Biken. Okay, so Biken, correct me if I'm wrong, Biken's parry and Exard works like Geese parries, right?
not exactly. It has a startup like Geese Parries, but I think you still need to input the counter.
Okay. In X2, Biken's parries are unique special moves that can only be done out of block stun when you are in block stun.
Ah, yeah.
Biken in X2 is a very strange character. Which, admittedly, X2's definitely got some fucking weirdos on that cast.
Yeah.
Ugh. But to circle back to it, with Ong, it's not that Ong's a lame character. Ong's. I like the happy-go-lucky protagonist in a lot of contexts. Like, if you ask me to pick out my favorite of the shonen protagonists, I'd easily pick Luffy. But Ong's just not going to have so much crazy appeal as as those 5 we just mentioned. And Katara, for one thing, is already just like she's the reasonable, mature one out of the gang, which is already going to be an archetype that's not necessarily going to appeal unless it's played for too much comedic extent. On top of that, Katara had a weird playstyle.
Yeah.
Like, Exard Johnny was very strong in Exard, but if he's not as strong as what he was, you're going to have a lot of people just going like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. See, I also feel like that's what separates the fucking the real players from the people who are here to tier whore. Because like I would play Exert Johnny regardless of how strong he actually is, because I like his moveset and I like Johnny. But
Yeah.
but it just so happens that the features that I like in my characters generally make them top tier. Unless it's Marvel 2, in which case they fucking die. But
Marvel 2, everyone suffers.
yeah.
No one has ever picked up Marvel 2 without specifically first looking at a tier list and went, I want to play Cable, Storm, Magneto, Sentinel, maybe a bit of Iron Man or Cyclops.
Yeah. I am officially banishing Hayato and Captain Commando to the SS pits.
Yeah. Cam Commando at least has highly specific use.
So does
Meanwhile,
Hayato. He has the same one.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I'm in the same boat because I really want to play Zangief and Colossus. And Colossus was really good back in Children of the Atom, and he spent the rest of his time under Capcom paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, see that's my thing of like I prefer Marvel 1 because in Marvel 1, like sure there's no Akuma, so he can't die in 2 hits and be useless otherwise, but aside from that, like all of my other guys are either reasonable or just good. Because like Captain Commando in Marvel 1 is actually pretty decent. Hayato is not here. That sucks. Omega Red anyway. He's reasonable after
Yeah.
being the best character in X-Men vs. Street Fighter or whatever.
Oh, I forgot Omega Red was still good in that one. Ugh. Well, Colossus is also mega OP in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. It's just that he's not per se playable. He's only an assist character.
Yeah,
But he's the best assist character in the game by far.
true. My one of my favorite Marvel fighting game moments on the channel was I forget what team I exactly had on in Marvel 1 when we played with Pink. But the game kept giving him Colossus, and I kept fucking perfecting him because he kept me talking, and that meant I wasn't thinking about the game, and that meant that I didn't have my limiters on.
And he also wasn't going to be pressing the assist button.
No, he was.
Really?
Yes.
I'm the only one who presses assist buttons in these games.
The thing there was that he kept pressing the assist button whenever I was ready for Colossus to come in and just block him or jump over him. So
Isn't Colossus really plus?
yes,
But Pink doesn't know how to take advantage of it.
no. But yeah, that was great because that is genuine. Like I think I was like Venom and Gambit or something like that, and we went through the entire roster without me switching teams. Is what happened, something like that. And I think that was the point where Pink went, okay, so Eddie, you're not allowed to play Gambit anymore. Probably as a joke, but you know.
Well, Gambit, if you continue to not play Gambit Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that account, then that's a different case, because Gambit and X-Men vs. Street Fighter Marvel vs. Capcom 1 is a different character than Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Gambit.
Yeah. I mean, Gambit is also banned because he was a repeat offender because I played him in either Children of the Atom or X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I forget which one I played him in.
Children of the Atom, so
okay, then it was X-Men vs. Street Fighter then.
Yeah.
And in that one, Gambit is actually fucking broken. He is top tier.
Yep.
I did not know this.
X-Men vs. Street Fighter, if memory serves, Gambit's top tier, Storm's top tier, Omega Red's top tier. But X-Men vs. Street Fighter is considered a bizarro game because it doesn't super matter what top tier you pick, or if you even pick a bottom tier, because everyone in that game has touch of death combos.
True, but do you expect Pink and I to start doing TODs?
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And so yeah, like it's this funny thing where Capcom kept making my favorite characters top tier. Each game I get one.
Woo! There's gotta be a game besides Marvel vs. Capcom 2 where your favorite character is actually like really pretty bad.
I mean, after Marvel 2, then they just continued doing the same shtick over and over again, because, like, in Marvel 3, Akuma isn't particularly great, and then in Infinite, he's fucking dead, so...
Yeah, Akuma is really weird in the Marvel games because they make everyone crazier in Marvel vs. Capcom, and they don't really give Akuma anything new, so Akuma goes from being the crazy Shoto to just being a Shoto.
Yeah.
If there were to be a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or 5 that came around, that was honestly like, let's change things up and let's get crazy with some of this, I would hope that with Akuma, they'd be like, okay, let's give him some crazier stuff.
Yeah.
Because Marvel 3 very clearly had the mentality of trying to, at least in part, be a leveler to Marvel 2.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of the possibilities of, like, fucking, they release, Capcom releases, like, a little document curtailing, like, what their design philosophies were for each of the characters and how they updated them for Marvel 4, and for Akuma, it just says download and Mugen.
Yeah. I'm looking over the list of fighting games I have in my Steam library to see, like, okay, which of these games did Addy really like a low tier character? My eye immediately goes to Injustice 1. And I think, probably not Martian Manhunter, no.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Zatanna, but I think Zatanna is A tier too. So
Yeah, Zatanna's pretty strong. Injustice, in fairness, while Injustice is notoriously the zoning full screen mix up monster game, that one I can't even complain that much because, like, I play Joker and Joker's F tier, but I also play Grundy, and Grundy in Injustice 1 is one of the most monstrous grapplers ever created. He's disgusting.
yeah.
Let's see. You mostly favor Hayabusa and Dead or Alive, don't you?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Yeah, my memory is you quite liked Hayabusa, and Hayabusa is one of the only fighting game characters I can recall the devs explicitly saying, "Yeah, we intentionally made him OP because we think he should be the strongest character."
Nice. Yeah, I did play Hayabusa like in the OA 1 because I like ninjas. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know after that because like my main in DOA 5 was Jackie Bryant, so
Ooh, yeah. Jackie's also never been too bad in any of the games, but to my understanding, Virtual Fighters never really had balance problems.
yeah.
Excuse me. Well, okay, here's a low tier character that you really liked in a game, and we've already mentioned them yet. But nonetheless, here's a low tier character that's one of your faves, though this is easily your least favorite variant of them. You hate this version, but nonetheless, Guilty Gear Strive, Biken.
Oh yeah.
That is easily your least favorite Biken, but still, you do play Biken, and in Strive, she's not good.
I mean, I don't play Biken in Strive though. I don't play Strive in general, but when I do, I generally favor Anji or like Chip.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there you go. There you go. You pick up a new devil in the form of Anji.
Yeah, and I played Anji in XX too.
That's true, but he's so much easier to deal with there.
I guess. I mean, shocking. Having moves makes it so you can deal with moves better.
Yeah.
More use at 11.
Having that projectile that hits twice is such a nightmare in any grounded-based fighting game, as can be observed with Mai Shiranui in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with Mai. The balance problem with Mai is that people never think about her name. Why do you think they named her Mai Shir Ennui?
Good lord. Alright. Let's see. P4. You mostly don't you play Junpei?
Junpei?
His name is Junpei, right? Yeah. Don't you mostly play Junpei in P4?
Oh no, my actual main in P4 is Elizabeth, but I do play Junpei. Yes.
Okay. I don't think there's anything. I don't remember what the tier list for P4 is, anyways.
Elizabeth is A tier at least. I'm pretty sure.
I think that is the case. And conversely, Kanji's supposed to be Kanji's supposed to be fine in Ultimax, right?
Yes, I think so. I'm gonna
Okay, I've never played Vanilla 4 Arena, Kanji. He may not be quite as stinky there.
All right. So let's see. So in S plus tier for P4 Arena Ultimax, we have Yukari and also Shadow People.
Oh, all the shadows are better. I forgot about that. The way the shadows handle meter makes them better.
Yes. So yeah, Elizabeth is A plus, and let's see, Shadow Kanji is A. Okay, both Shadow Kanji and regular Kanji are A. No one is under A.
Ultimax strikes me as the kind of. I mean, of course, this is only just going to be one guy's tier list, but nonetheless, Ultimax does strike me as the kind of game where it's like, yeah, no one here feels bad. If we are to accept the new inherent conceit of understanding of balance, the balance is vibes based. No one in P4A has P4AU, I guess.
Yeah, personal for Alternate Universe.
None of them have bad vibes.
Yes.
All right, let's just put it down to the simplest question. Let's ignore everything you've ever heard about tiers. what is the main you get the the worst vibes from in any fighting game? That nonetheless is your
Ooh.
main, but you just get bad vibes from it. Like, man, this feels like it should be way better. This feels like it. I feel like I'm fighting uphill here.
Do you want to just list off the entire Strive roster?
I was about to say the issue there is you're going to name off just the fighting games that feel bad in general.
Yeah. Because generally speaking, if I can find a guy that I like playing as, then I just don't play the game. It's that
Yeah.
simple. But
Do you have you not had a character that you look at and you're like, I want to make this work, and you're playing it and it's pain, but you're like, no, I want to make this work.
I mean that's just a pick your poison from Blaze Blue. Because like you on one hand you have Platinum the Trinity, who I know how to play, and I'm pretty alright with them, but also I hate her. Alternatively, you have Yuki Terumi and Hazama, where Terumi feels like S to play as, and also isn't particularly fun, just in general, and Hazama, who is very difficult, and also has the weirdest fucking normals.
Yeah.
That I guess like out of like it's not counting Copat answers like that. I guess the closest I can think of to the worst vibes feeling character that I actually main in a fighting game is probably Yuzuriha.
Really?
Yes,
I guess
because
she is very similar to Johnny, but not quite enough.
I mean the main problem is that she really loves using the Mistfinder into and out of chip teleport. And I just don't have the brain space. There is not enough fucking RAM in my head to process that information.
Okay.
That's usually why I default to playing Enkidu instead, because Enkidu plays like the twins, and I know the twins, so
I just had a weird mental connection there. A synapse just fired off there that has been rusty and unused for far too long. You mentioned her doing that and having trouble figuring out how to work that. My brain fired off. Oh, that's weird because when I think of chip style teleports in Under Night, I think of Linne or Linny or whatever her name
Lynn.
is,
Yeah,
the
just
girl
Lynn.
in the yellow sweatshirt. Lynn, yeah. I think of Lynn, and I don't have any trouble with Lynn. I like playing Lynn. I thought, well, actually, there's a good few characters I like chip teleports on. And Marvel, I like Dante. Dante's got a chip teleport.
Yeah.
I like Infinite's version of Thanos, and Infinite version of Thanos has a chip teleport for some fucking reason.
I mean, see,
What?
yeah. Go ahead.
And it occurs to me, I've never vibed with Chip Zanoff in Guilty Gear because for some reason I forget he has the teleport anytime I play him.
Yeah, you should give it a shot. But the major reason that I have a problem processing Yuzu's teleports specifically is because it's not on an input. It is, but it isn't. Because
Explain.
Chip's teleports are down in a button, and then he teleports in
Yes.
one of predefined ways. Yuzu's teleports work in a way where you do a Mistfinder, and then you press on the attack button, and she'll do a teleport if you press forward as well, I think. But where she presses where she does the teleport depends on whether you press back or forward, whether which attack strength you pressed, and then whether or not you were holding a Mistfinder or not. And that's just too much for me to pay attention to it all at once. Personally.
Okay. There are times, a lot of times in fighting games where a character is a little too like messy with some of the tech they have there. And I've just kind of got to go like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to figure out one thing I can do here, and then I'm going to do that until I get that worked into my memory. And then from there, I might try and learn how to do more.
Yeah. I mean, the reason this is a problem with Yuzu for me personally is just because sometimes I do, like, because I know how to play Yuzu otherwise. But sometimes I'll do a combo and accidentally input a teleport and not expect it. And then just fucks up
I
everything.
do remember that happening a couple times. I remember you doing that and then, continuing your combo, but then afterwards say, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Usually is a very improvisational character. She's freeform jazz in my hands. So sometimes it works out, but a lot of times it don't, because I don't know how to play jazz.
Yeah, that's how every fucking KI combo feels to me. Like, I'll go into the lab and I'll be like, okay, what if I did this and this and this and this? Oh, yeah, it works so well. But then I hop into a match, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, every KI combo to me is just piano inputs, piano inputs, piano inputs, combo breaker.
Yeah, that's definitely KI is definitely working off a different set of rules for non-manual combos. Manual combos, it's the same as other fighting games where it's like, will he drop it? Will he drop it? Oh, he didn't drop it. Oh, the skills. But otherwise, it instead is the alternatively, it is back to just being a mind game as if you're mixing up, but now it's a gambling mind game.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So anyway, back to news, I guess, for a sec. Oh, by the way, I
Yes.
did figure out the character who is the lowest tier that I play as a main in any fighting game.
Okay, who is it?
Tatemasamune in Basara Cross. He is actually F
Okay.
tier.
Yes, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing like it honestly said like everything he does, somebody else does better. And
Yes.
not in a way that like, he's a he's
He's not a jack of all
jack of
trades. No.
trades. No, he's a dunce of all trades, actually.
Yes. But yeah, back to news. City of the Wolves survives somehow.
Yeah, I saw them upload a video and I was like, oh, it's gonna be they're announcing the next character. No, it's just a big animated show off of all the DLC characters so far. And I was like,
Oh no, they
okay, I
announced the new
mean,
characters.
oh, they did?
Yes,
I missed it.
the next season for City of the Wolves are Duck King, Kim Kafwan, Rick Stroud, and Laukorn Goreamus? Goreamus?
Oh, I did see this. I thought they had already added Kim and Rick.
No.
But I did see Duck King. It just slipped my mind because, like, I like Duck King quite a bit. I enjoy playing Duck King in the games that he's there. But Duck King does not occupy enough space in my brain that I feel like I have to devote time to him, you know?
Yeah.
Still, very good that Duck King is there because Duck King to me is very much a Fatal Fury classic, and it would feel a little bit weird if he wasn't there in the
Yeah.
end, you know?
City of the Wolves continues being on game where you would have more and more buys if you remove 2 characters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fatal Fury would not have nearly the troubles it has had in its lifetime if it had had 2 different characters in those spots.
Yes. All right, then let's see. Rick Stroud is actually coming 2 days from the release of this video.
Yes, I did see that they have his game model up and running. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he's not dead.
Yeah.
Though I do find it odd that with the passage of time, he seems to look the same.
He's been in the same cryo sleep that Nina and Anna were in Tekken.
Yeah, sure. We can't let the husbando age.
Yeah. All right, then let's see. Toukon beta was announced for the weekend, of course, as we've said. They specifically made
Most of the playable cast. Most of the cast playable, right?
Yeah, they specifically went out of their way to not add any of the characters that I want to play aside from Blade. But aside from that, yeah.
I was about to ask which ones are missing, but it's like, okay, it's going to be the ones that Addy wants to play, of course, because this is how these things work.
Yeah, it's I want to say three-fourths of my team or 2/3 of my team, whatever the fuck I have, I forget. And then also Hulk, he's not there.
Oh, Hulk, okay, Hulk being removed, Hulk not being there is very odd. Very odd. I guess Hulk must have like a bug they're trying to figure out or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess Carnage and Carnage and Gabo were out.
Carnage, Gabo, and Deadpool are not in. Blade was added in, but also just earlier they announced that Gabo is actually in.
Oh, weird. So they're having stuff they're trying to figure out with these guys then.
Seems so, yeah.
That is bizarre. To leave out characters that have already been revealed and for one of them to be one of the Avengers, who you would expect all the Avengers to be playable in the beta, that just indicates to me like either there's a bug going on here, or there's a balance issue going on here, or they've been trying to make a pass of giving characters more sauce since the initial betas, and they haven't got to Hulk yet.
Hulk has a thing where he can use Gamma Charge to replicate the old whatchamacallit, the Gambit flight from Marvel 2. They haven't been able to figure out how to make him stop.
They're fine with him starting it, but he can't stop, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's also very funny, they're now showing the costumes you get in gameplay. And it is very funny that it's like, wow, these look so much better in motion than the default designs.
I haven't been paying attention.
I've only been paying the gentlest of attention. I saw a little bit of classic Cap in gameplay and Punk Storm in gameplay, which I think the base Storm design she gets in the base game, like base game non-DLC or default design, is fine. It's not the best Storm design. I'm always a sucker for the silver outfit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
If Pink were here, he'd say that it gives a good shot of her cleavage. But Punk Storm's kind of a classic, you know?
Yeah.
It's just one of those it's like, if a game's going to have alternate attires in a Marvel game, there are a few that they have to do, right? You've got to get Symbiote Spider-Man in there. You've got to get a Grey Hulk in there, and you've got to get Punk Storm in there. Those are the three that, like, you have to get those, because those are the ones that, like... Yeah, War Machine. If he's not a separate playable character, I prefer him as a separate playable character, but if they're not going to do that, then that can also work. It's just weird for me to hear Tony's voice coming out of the War Machine suit.
True.
But, like, those three, it's like, those three should not be the default design anytime. Well, Punk Storm as the default design can work for a certain period of her career, but either which way. But they should be there as the alts, because there's always, each of those three are going to have some people who prefer them over the default.
Yeah. Then let's see. Zahir was revealed for Avatar. He looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have sauce when you actually get to play him, because every character in the beta had sauce. But, like, for him to be a guy that I don't know, and apparently his whole gimmick is just that he's supposed to be evil Ong, but, like, really lame. Like, I don't know about that. But I'm going to assume that, I don't know about that is going to be my reaction to most of the Korra cast when they get added.
Most of my reaction to Korra cast when they get added is, why? Literally anyone else.
It would feel odd for me as someone who only watched, bits and pieces of book 1 and 2 of Avatar and never saw any of Korra. It would still feel odd to me for Korra to not be there, in the same way that it would feel weird for me for a Dragon Ball game to not have any characters from Super or GT. But that's not to say that GT is anywhere as good as the original Z, or even good at all. But still, it'd be odd for me if there was no GT characters there, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Zahir has been revealed. I guess they're honestly just keeping tight-lipped on Ozai. Like, maybe they'll release the trailer with the game. Maybe they're honestly like, no, you have to play him yourself, assholes.
Ozai just has, like, all of his moves hit full screen. Like, he's just a buff version of Orochi.
They explicitly put in the most banned character of all time.
Yeah. He puts shit in front of the screen.
Even if you're playing against him in the final boss fight of the arcade mode, you still have to play with, like, a piece of bologna covering up the screen. You just have to go off of sound.
Yeah.
I still wonder. I don't know why. I just get the vibes from Ozai that it's going to be like, oop, that's Addie's character. And I can't explain why, because we've seen literally 0 frames of gameplay from Ozai. but I just feel like there's some like either Rugal or Akuma vibes coming off of Ozai, and
I
I
mean,
can't
we have
quite
literally
explain
a
it.
frame of Ozai. I'm looking at him right now. Genuinely,
Okay, we
literally a
have.
frame of Ozai.
Okay, what's he doing? Is it just idle
Standing.
pose?
Yes, it's on the character select screen. He's just standing there.
Okay, menacingly. Okay, that doesn't give us indication, but there isn't a Rugal or Akuma on the roster yet. Granted, Avatar
There you go.
doesn't feel like it's got. Oh, okay. The roster doesn't feel like they're consciously going. Oh, there he is. Yeah, son of a bitch. Oh, I forgot about Avatar Ong and Avatar Korra. How the hell are they going to play differently? Oh, well, whatever. Oh, I like that Avatar State Ong has his shirt off and Avatar State Korra has her hair down. That's a nice touch in both of them to give them at least somewhat more distinctive visuals.
Yeah.
But anyways, they haven't gone for having any of these characters feel too much like a pre-existing fighting game character. Other than that Katara has some suspicious resemblances to Johnny in several ways.
Yeah.
But
starting up a skyfaring boat. Just for small girls.
I would start raising questions if Katara makes a coin out of water and throws it at you.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
For some reason, Katara makes sunglasses out of water. Throws a cord at you and then slices you in half with water.
And it makes a K shape out of water.
Yes.
All right. And inexplicably, her theme song just has the worst vocals in the universe.
It didn't used to always. It could also just be Western drinking music.
Okay. Ozai will probably be a new beast because that's the direction they've gone with the character design so far. Would you say there's a strong comparison for any of the characters other than Katara of like, oh yeah, this character feels a lot like this other character?
Let's see. I mean, in parts of their kit, not the full thing completely, but in parts definitely. Like let's see, because I feel like some version of Sokka was very reminiscent of another character from a fighting game.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, individual tools are shared. Like, I guess you can get like broad vibes because, like,
Yes.
Ong definitely to a certain degree has Morrigan vibes, right? Because so much of his kit is built around like pretty well instant jump up air dash.
Yeah.
And Toph definitely has a strong Iron Tiger vibe to her in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think if memory serves, during the beta, I said that the boomerang version of Sokka plays a lot like Hazama.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on there, particularly with the wacky chain physics.
Yeah.
Zuko, of course, feels in terms of being dive kick machine. Zuko feels like Seth from KOF.
Yeah.
Korra feels the closest to being a straight up Shoto out of that cast, though even then she's a weird Shoto.
Yeah.
I'd probably play Ryu more if he had the ability to just go like, hey, you know what? Fuck neutral. I'm going to run up and drop kick you into the wall.
We have that. It's called Ken.
That's true. That's Dragon Lash. Azula's just weird. Azula's just like, that's such a, her whole thing of just aggressive. I am going to put you into block stun with traps and just repeatedly trapping you and then
aggressive
going crazy
set play,
mode. Yes, very aggressive set play while you're still standing.
Yeah.
She doesn't wait for the hard knockdown.
The knockdown may not be hard, but she is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I am excited to play that tomorrow. That's going to be a good time.
And then let's see. Oh yeah. This news, and then that's the last news that we have for now. Dicko
Wait, is this?
is what I've heard this game christened already.
Wait, am I dumb?
What?
Why did I think it comes out on the 21st? It comes out on the 23rd.
I'm not sure.
Wait, when's the Toukon beta then? Because I thought the Toukon beta was the
On the weekend.
22nd.
Toukon beta is
Oh,
on the
why did I
weekend.
think? Oh, okay. All right, I'm dumb. All right, moving on.
So yes, this game has already been retitled to Dicko by the audience. DCKO was announced. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I got tricked by that. I got excited for a minute.
See, I saw
There was-
I saw someone put up on image of like, here's what the cover art looks like, and I went, they didn't call it DCKO. They're not just fucking ripping off a Project Hell. And then I scrolled down and it said the DCKO official announcement trailer, and I went, oh, they are.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. DCKO was already a comic that came out like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be a reference to the comic. The fact that it also is ripping off the 2XKO name is just kind of convenient. Which at the time that the comic would have been written, it would have probably still been called Project L.
Yeah. Well, the game looks like as well. It's a mobile game. I do give them props for including John Constantine.
Yeah,
because he's my man. But
that.
but otherwise, no.
Yeah. Yeah, when I clicked on it, I didn't know it was a mobile game. I was like, okay, this game's not very good looking for a game that's coming out today, but I appreciate they're going with cartoony aesthetic rather than photorealistic. Oh, John Constantine for launch roster, because they also go Trinity. Like, it's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Robin, okay. John Constantine. Like, oh shit, no Flash, no Green Lantern, just straight to Constantine? Okay, fuck it. And they keep showing characters, and I go, oh, something's weird here. You don't show this many characters in the first trailer.
See, I saw the gameplay that they showed off, and I went, oh no, this looks like someone took the quality strider down on fucking MK versus DC Universe. And
it definitely called to mind for me Invincible Versus.
That too, but in Invincible Versus, like, you know, as rubbery and fake as it looks, there's a certain threshold that it hits, where like this genuinely looks like you took like on early 360 fighting game from people who don't know how to make fighting games, and you turned it to like the lowest possible quality setting while the game still looks like a game, like it still has textures. Like the only way that this game could run better is if they remove the textures. It feels like.
Yeah.
And so
it needs to run on a phone.
Yeah. Like I genuinely went while watching the trailer, man, this looks like a phone game. And then I looked at the comments and it says phone game, and I went, oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That made me really sad because I was like, I like NRS. I like what they do with Mortal Kombat. But I was for a second there thinking, oh my god, DC's out from NRS. That's so good because NRS insisting on sticking to making grounded fighting games is so bad for Injustice. And then it was like, nope, DC's if the DC's still under NRS for console fighting games. Fuck.
Yeah, I read a comment, someone saying, because someone else also brought this exact point up of like, you know, what if we got an Injustice with sauce, with real sauce, not the fake whatchamacallit, like the sauce product that Injustice usually has, and someone replied, DC gamers prefer the grounded style to Marvel's anime, so it would be bad.
So the issue there is that the only kind of the only DC license that gets any fucking video games is Batman.
Yeah.
Like that was also a thing that ran off in my mind there of like, wow, DC has had no confidence in non-Batman titles whatsoever. But I'm only seeing a couple Batman characters here. This is a lot of Justice League and a lot of Teen Titans here. This is bold from DC. And again, then I saw this mobile game. I went, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, then again, there's also the thing of like, I also see it half of the people who aren't Bat family with Batman anyway, because like Blue Beetle, Batman, Constantine, Batman. Like,
God, does Constantine even interact with Batman much nowadays?
I don't
I
know
think
about now.
Constantine is.
I don't know about nowadays, but back when I actually read Batman comics, he used to be on fucking call with Batman. So
Oh yeah, Constantine's connected to everybody. That's his superpower. I mean, like he can do magic, but Constantine's superpower is I know a guy.
he, like I remember it was something like this ran in a Batman series. I forget which one, probably around the time of New 52, so somewhere around there. But there was genuinely like a storyline where it was not Batman, it was Detective Chimp and John Constantine solving a crime, and then they call Batman
Yeah,
sometimes.
right. Yes, there was that little bit where they were running Detective Chimp and Constantine together. Which, like, God, Detective Chimp doesn't have any magic elements to him, right? I don't even know how Detective Chimp became Detective Chimp. Oh, you know what? Detective Chimp used to be part of. There was a magic focused super team DC ran for a little bit in the late 2000s, and it was Detective Chimp and Ragman and God, like Lady Spectre or Oh God, Lady. Oh, she was the basis for. She came from the same company as the original Blue Beetle and Captain Atom when DC bought them, and she was the basis for Silk Spectre and Watchmen.
I wouldn't know.
Ooh, I can't remember her name. But Detective Chimp did used to be part of that team, so Detective Chimp does have some supernatural ties, and I'm incorrect on that one.
But yeah,
But yeah,
so
there was definitely.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
okay. So yeah, that's partially why I'm just like, yeah, John Constantine is friends with Batman. He's a part of the Bat family, the Bat extended family.
God, and Blue Beetle, like I think that's mostly Brave and the Bold that did that footwork because I don't
Yes.
think Blue Beetle and I don't know if Batman and Jaime have ever even really met in the comics. But Brave and the Bold, it's like Jaime's a fucking Robin.
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold has such a delightful take on so many of the characters, though. In my head, it's preferable for Batman and Aquaman to also be best buddies. I know the tradition in the comics is to make Aquaman an asshole. I really love Brave and the Bold Aquaman, though, just being the most over the top, ridiculous dude at all times.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
shouting whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
It,
Brave and the
like,
Bold, yeah.
just impossible to embarrass.
Yeah. I mean, Brave and the Bold just had like so many like lesser known heroes and otherwise just lifted up by association because like Plastic Man, no one thought about him, I don't think, before Brave and the Bold.
No, no, Brave and the Bold's one of those. Brave and the Bold gave Plastic Man his start, where now Brave and Plastic Man only gets brought up as like DC's Deadpool before Harley Quinn was DC's Deadpool, which he was. That Plastic Man and Deadpool are very similar in a lot of sensibilities. But in terms of being the character you bring up as the unexpected top tier in power scaling, of
Yeah,
like, yeah, very few characters can beat Plastic Man. Plastic Man's like actually discreetly one of the strongest characters in DC.
yeah. I mean, if DC and Marvel do another crossover comic, the inciting incident should just be Reed Richards and Plastic Man got into an argument. We have to stop them.
I'd be scared what would happen there. Some Fantastic Four comics have shown that it's actually really bad news when Ben and Susan are out doing stuff and Reed and Johnny are left to their own devices together. Because it turns out without Ben or Susie to keep either of them in control, that Reed will agree to any of Johnny's stupid ideas, and Johnny will never tell Reed that he's going too far with some gadget or gizmo.
Oh,
I have seen at least one comic that was Reed and Johnny just fucked around with a time machine because Johnny was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be fun?" And Reed was like, "Well, Johnny, when you put it that way, it's hard to disagree." And they accidentally send themselves back to Roman times and just start dicking around and living among the Gauls because they're like, "Hey, this is cool. I remember reading about this in a history book." And they just keep doing that for because no one's around to tell them, "Go back to your own time, shitheads."
all right, cool.
Yeah. God, have you ever seen any of the panels of Reed fighting the Maker?
I don't think so. No.
Let me see if I can bring up one of the panels, because if Mr. Fantastic fights another Mr. Fantastic, or if we did what you said, Mr. Fantastic fights Plastic Man, it's fucking weird looking. Let's see. Because there's a particular panel I'm looking for of them fighting that's oh, these are all dialogue panels. Though, ooh, I don't know if this is art from an official crossover or if this is just fan art, but this actually is humorously appropriate for what I was about to say. I believe at some point Mr. Fantastic and the Maker have fought in the comics, and the fight looked like nonsense because both of them are stretching all over the place and just getting tied up in each other.
Yeah.
And okay, this is almost certainly fan art, but nonetheless, I'm going to post it just because, like, this is probably what I figure Mr. Fantastic versus Plastic Man looks like as a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It doesn't, but you know.
Ugh. All right.
So yeah. I believe that was all of the news.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Oh, out my back.
Let's see.
It's setting in.
Yeah, the old. Well,
All right.
I guess do you have any topics you want to
See.
discuss in regards to fighting games?
Well, let's see. I feel like we could talk about something in regards to Avatar or Toukon, considering we're going to be playing both of them by the end of this week.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't think of much to say, though. In that case, we'll just fire off a random topic. All right. What's a fighting game that you didn't like and it felt bad, but you felt like they were on to something, and if they had developed the concept more, it had actually been really good?
Immediately, a joke answer revealed itself to me.
What's that?
Missing link.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah. I have to add the point, but that never happened.
Yeah.
Because then we also do the same thing for Street Fighter 1, right?
True.
Yeah. The further you go back in fighting game history, the more you find that a lot of the franchises, their first one was kind of a stinker.
Yeah.
What's a fighting game franchise that immediately that first entry was straight banger? Just to start with, already we're doing
Persona 4 Arena.
good.
For non-joke answers. It depends on what you want to call a series, I guess. Because like Under Night, I would argue, was that. But then also Under Night is only on the second installment technically. So
I would say it's actually on its fourth or fifth, no matter what the French Bride says.
because yeah, Under Night,
But
yeah,
Under Night's a strong freshman start, yeah.
yeah.
Skullgirls was a strong freshman start for Lab Z, even if kind of just wound up with them not being able to do anything again.
Yeah.
KOF 94 was just kind of okay.
Yeah, KOF 94 aged very bad.
Yeah. It would have been good in the time of Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2, but playing it particularly in light of the KOFs that came afterwards, it feels like it's missing stuff, in large part because,
Yes.
hey, guess what? No dodge rolls. We have spot dodge.
Yes, and also not being able to pick your characters instead having to choose between teams, and also all of these
Oh, right,
characters,
I forgot about that.
and also all of these characters movesets like expanded exponentially between installments. So
And some of them changed massively. Kyo in
yes,
94 doesn't look like Kyo in, like, pretty well any entry after 97.
Kyo in 94 has a Shoryuken and a Hadouken and nothing else.
Yeah.
That is
Like,
his, that is his
the
specials.
idea that one would have of Kyo, of Bodega Man, is not even there's not even a whiff of that in 94 Kyo.
Yeah, no. Okay, Kyo 94 Kyo is not even a proper Shoto because he doesn't have an Wild Advancing or whatever, an Advancing special.
Oh, right, he didn't pick that up. He didn't pick up the weird running tackle grab until, like, 96?
Oh, not even just the running tackle grab. He doesn't have the RED kick, nor does he have the like not Tatsumakis that he used to have before that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had the bicycle kick back then
No.
either.
Nope. Nothing. He just has Shoryuken and
Jeez.
Hadouken. Nothing else. Fuck you.
Yeah, KF94 is like, it's the middling one. Some of the characters on that cast still feel fine. I mean, Terry feels fine, but Terry's already had 3 games to develop by then.
Yeah.
Like, KF94 is the middle pick of like, yeah, it's an okay freshman entry. It's better than Street Fighter 1 or Guilty Gear Missing Link.
Yeah.
Better than Tekken 1.
Yeah. Bloody Roar had a good one. A good first one.
Yeah. I've never played Soul Edge. How was Soul Edge as a freshman entry?
Oh, pretty
Or
good,
Soul
yeah.
Blade?
Yeah, Soul Blade was like, I wanna say 80% of the way there already. Maybe more.
Yeah. It seems like with Soul Calibur as a series, the whole thing honestly just was the dude who headlined the games, the guy who directed the games, there or not? The first games there or not?
Yeah.
Because if he's there, it's good. If he's not, it's not. 6 is cute as a love letter to the good games, but even then, it's like, yeah, you've lost the story, and that was a major part of the appeal.
Yeah. And also Gerardo of the Riviera is here.
Yeah, and there's also all the confusion of around like, this is supposed to be set in the time of Soul Calibur 2. It's like, okay, but Setsuka and Hilde are here.
Yes. And so is Haomaru,
And Zostamel.
who's been dead for 300 years or something.
Yeah. Well, Soul Calibur set in the early 1500s, I think. Well, God, they also had the time to displace Ezio when they put him in 5.
Yeah.
And Ezio was like, it was Brotherhood Ezio, so it was about like 1504 or thereabouts was Brotherhood.
I
God,
think it was
when
the
was
1530s or so. For
Yeah,
Brotherhood
yeah, but
Ezio.
they only had to displace it a little bit, but
Yes.
so and Maru, when were the Sam Show games? Because Jean, the
That's
French
the
chick in the
problem. I
heavy
don't
armor,
know.
because the French chick in the heavy armor is there, and Europe didn't really make contact with Japan until the 1500s.
I mean, just considering that it's probably set in the Edo period, it would have to be the Renaissance period in Europe. You know, Sengoku Jidai.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
1400s to
in that
1600s.
case, it's if it's the Sengoku Jidai, then actually it should be just about contemporary with Soul Cal.
All right.
It's funny to think of how Maru just being dead, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at last they were able to join him with his gay lover Mitsurugi.
Yes. His gay lover / cosplayer.
Yeah. All right. But what is one game that never got the opportunity to develop further on its premise? It just got the game that they got, and you thought they could have been onto something, but it just didn't work in that entry, and they never got to develop it further.
I mean, I guess it really depends on definitions once again. I feel like if we gave CyberConnect money and went, hey, make it like not Heritage for the Future 3. And if they actually put in effort this time, then they could make a good game, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I see that more likely than Vancouver is going to Capcom going, hey, make Heritage for the Future 2 for real this time.
Yeah, I don't see Bamco being that friendly.
Yeah, no. And like, you know, All-Star Battle R with the stuff that they did to it to update it to make it more playable, it kind of just feels like, you know, lesser quality Heritage for the Future 2. Because there's a lot of references that they put in those characters' movesets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't deny that All-Star Battle R is just an update to a PS3 game that was bad. And there's only so much they can do without going, alright, we're just making a new game now. And so I want them to just make a new game now. In that style.
Yeah. Like, All-Star Battle R, I think, upgrades it from the level of just sheer fan service, not really a fighting game, to at the very least level of Kusoge.
Yeah.
But it could definitely be better. That game definitely still feels a bit odd.
Yes.
And I forgot how bad the net play feels in that game. We were playing the other day, I was like, that's weird. I remember this game feeling better than this when I popped in the lab. And I didn't remember until like later in the day or the next day. It's like, oh, right. When I played the demo online with Addy, it felt bad then because the net play just feels bad in that game.
Yes. Like, I literally told you, it doesn't matter if you parsec or not, because the quality is roughly the same. And that is true.
Yep. Yeah, underwater net play that was.
Yes. I mean, the reason that Parsec was better is because there's a higher chance that Speedwagon will not crash the game when it's just one person, technically.
That's true. Ugh.
But yeah. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like a lot of my answers will just be, here was a fucking license fighting game that could have been interesting had they had the like manpower and or budget to actually make this good. You know, because like so little battle resonance. There's a lot of interesting ideas there, not necessarily good ones, but like, you know, making a universal geese parry be a part of the game core game mechanics is an interesting idea. I wish the game didn't feel like, you know, molasses. But
yeah.
and also, I wish the game didn't feel like the forbidden love child of traditional fighting games and Smash. But aside from that, like, I feel like there could have been something very interesting done with this. And with the amount of money that they got and the fact that they had to make it for the PS2 and the PSP and all of that jazz, like, I don't really fault the people who made their game for making it, like, alright, and not good
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. Hmm. Ooh, I can't think of another topic just off the top of my head.
I have a biased answer as well.
What's that?
Basara Cross. It could have been good.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is better than most Kusoge, I think. As long as no
I
one
think you and
actually
I
knows
get
what
to
they're
be in
doing.
this.
Yeah?
I think you and I get to be in the similar space there, though not quite. You got it worse than I do. With Sungoku Basara and Cross, it being locked to a very old platform is a problem to begin with. And it
Yes.
being part of a franchise that Capcom now just refuses to port to the West is also a problem.
Yes. Also, another
But
problem with the IP as well, just in general, is that the guy who was the producer for the series is at Tencent.
yeah, and Capcom just like a month ago, like one of the people at Capcom was interviewed and asked, you know, what changed around the time of Resident Evil 7 that ended the kind of like really bad years of Capcom and brought you guys back to making really good games. And he said, well, prior to Resident Evil 7, a video game did not exist unless someone really hot, one of our really respected game designers said he wanted to make it. And if he
Yeah.
wanted to make it, then he made it. And that was just simply how we worked. And now we go, it would be smart for us to make a Resident Evil game. People want a Resident Evil game, and Resident Evil games make money. we need to assemble a team to make a Resident Evil game. It is no longer creator first priorities. It is now license first priorities. And that's weird for Sengoku Basara, because the guy who made Sengoku Basara's is gone. And that's like simultaneously really disheartening, because it's like, oh shit. Well, who's gonna make Sengoku Basara now? But there is at least the upside of like, well, if Capcom thinks there's money in it, they will have someone else do it. Whereas old Capcom would have just said, well, Sengoku Basara's daddy isn't here anymore. Only way we'll make one is if somebody else wants to step up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, it really is up in the air, because on one hand, they keep running the stage plays and all the loot stuff and all that. Like they are still using the IP in Japan to get money. It just really depends on whether or not someone at Capcom actually looks at, like, tweets with 10 upvotes going, hey,
Yeah.
we would like this in the West too.
Yeah, it would have to be kind of a bold gamble like Yakuza 0 was, of let's see if we can make this work in the West, even though the demand for it is relatively small.
Yeah.
I think also Sengoku Basara is one of those game series that can kind of suffer from the fact that, like, being developed for the modern console generation and the more advanced graphics of the modern console generations, that there's an expectation that you're going to make shit real pretty. And that's also been kind of a problem for Tecmo over there, making their Warriors games. And just the Warriors Origins came and went, and it was praised when it came out, but there's not been a lot of talk around it since. So I do wonder if, to a certain degree, Capcom is kind of sitting there like, well, we may not want to take a shot at making our own Musou game until we feel really comfortable being able to put a satisfactory amount of enemies on the screen while also making the game look really pretty still at the same time.
Yeah, it depends though, because for the entire duration of the series, Basara went for a more like cartoony, cel shaded design for the characters. By the time of 3 and whatever, they were getting like very realistic textures, but they were still anime people who were very obviously anime. So
I'd really like for the whole fucking game industry to swallow its pride on the photorealism thing and just allow some games to be graphically primitive as long as they're stylized. But at the end of the day, that isn't the sort of thing that can get past the suits very well.
yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Okami too.
Did I mention to you what one of the Baldur's Gate devs said at one point about a particularly dumb suit?
I love bear sex.
Holy shit, we're developing this? I didn't know. I'd have given you more money. No, it's one of the suits came by at some point. Look at the game, and they were watching him play the game, and they asked, "Can you swim?" And the guy said, "No." And he said, "Why not?" He said, "Because you don't need to swim." And the guy was like, "Well, you should add swimming." No, we don't need to add swimming. There's no point in this game where you should be swimming.
Yes, we like swimming.
Oh, it's just one of those things where, like, suits tend to handle the mentality on some of these things like a list they need to check off, right? You have to be able to jump, you have to be able to swim, you have to be able to do this, you have to be able to do that, because every other game does it, right? We're not going to ship a subpar product. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost kind of shitty because it's like, well, he gives a shit enough to be like, well, we got to ship a product that's going to meet expectations, but he doesn't know what the expectations are and is just gambling based off of what he understands other games to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I have a topic in my head, but I can't figure out how to articulate it.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out how to wrap around a way to actually a very sad, depressing topic of like, what's a game that you really enjoyed, but the way that it went and the way that its series is going and the way that the publisher and developer handle the series,
you can just say
that you're never going to get that joy again, or at least you're not going to get it for another 5 or 10 years. Because I know for you and I are both going to have a good answer there. But I guess ultimately it's just the very sad question of, what's one game that you thought was really awesome, but due to financial or business concerns around it, you don't think you're going to get another game of that energy from that same franchise for at least a decade?
Guilty Gear?
Yep. You have Guilty Gear, Exard you can go with there. I'm not getting another Mortal Kombat like Mortal Kombat 1. It's not happening. Mortal Kombat 11 sold gangbusters, and Mortal Kombat 1 sold good, but not gangbusters. So Mortal Kombat 13 is probably going to play like Mortal Kombat 11.
Now that saves me money. As long as Ed Boon keeps making shitty games that sell well, I will just not buy them.
Ed, I wonder with Ed how much Ed can even be involved because like Ed's getting old, and Ed's starting to look a bit out of it in interviews.
Ed is I don't know what you're talking about. Ed is the lead pillow crier. His job is to look at the design documents and then cry into his pillow.
That is another thing. Like you can tell with some of these game designers, once their game series gets too big, they start to turn into whipping boys. Because you could tell to a certain degree, Harada finally just left Bamco to do his own thing because he was sick of just, like, okay, yeah, Tekken, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta add this pimped up feature, yada, yada, yada. Fuck it, I want to make my own thing. I leave. I quit. Like, Ed has been asking for years, like, man, Virtual Fighter 6, huh? And you can tell that NRS is pushing further and further away from Ed's clear desire, which is for Mortal Kombat to play a lot more like Virtual Fighter.
Yeah. I mean, it would be really funny if they like if they did a Virtual Fighter 6 thing of like meet the devs, and then Ed Boon is just there.
He's just there. They don't interview him. He's just standing there ominously in the background with a big smile on his face.
every shot he's looking into the camera. No one acknowledges him.
Yeah. His hands are doing something different every time, though, and he's doing, like, actual game dev work with his hands. He's programming into a computer, he's writing up a design doc, but he's not looking at what he's doing. He's looking at the camera.
And
it doesn't seem to be breaking his stride, either. He seems to be writing and typing perfectly well without even looking.
And then, like, the day after they released this, NRS releases a statement saying that Ed Boon has quit. And then when they released Virtua Fighter 6, you play through the game, and Ed Boon is not in the credits, but Eduardo Bone is.
Eduardo Noob.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yeah. And then in Mortal Kombat 13, Noob Saibot is just nothing. He has no name.
Oh,
so yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's other answers aside from, Arxis in general for me. Tekken, that's a good answer for both of us.
Yeah. Oh, God. Tekken's one where it feels like they're just going to keep doubling down, even though Tekken 8 is, like, not doing very well, and it's just going to result in Tekken as a series being like, well, Tekken just doesn't make money, so we're just not going to make one for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, Tekken to me almost feels like if there's going to be a Tekken 9 and it doesn't pull it back and it's just kind of stinky, then we're not going to see Tekken 10 until like 2038 when it'll be revealed at whatever the game show equivalent of that time period is, because who knows what the fuck is the format in which they'll reveal new game trailers in at that time.
I mean, I feel like at that point, like if Tekken 10 takes 10 years off to simmer and shit, I feel like the announcement for Tekken 10 will start with the words Katsuhiro Harada is dead, and then he walks on stage.
That would be funny, but I honestly, like, in my head, I can see them honestly just showing a quick, like, in shadow, and then it flashes a light over Kazuya's face and his hair, right? And then maybe you see some lightning punches, and you hear Kazuya's usual punch sound effects, and then they Tekken Project.
Maybe. It depends.
Who knows if that trend will still be around, though, at that time to not announce. No, it's not Virtua Fighter 6, it's Project VF.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it depends, because if they can get Harada back, he will probably do something like that of like, I am Heihachi Mishima. announce my departure so I can come back.
Yeah, I mean, Harada definitely likes to meme.
Yeah. Uh. Hmm. See, I'm not sure about any other series that have gone astray from what we like or I like, because there's just not many of them anymore. Like City of the Wolves, I'm not sure. It's hard to read SNK right now, so
Yeah,
maybe that.
it's difficult to say whether they'd make the same mistake twice. I think that the Saudi money guys would probably still want celebrity characters, but I think there's a distinct chance they may look at it and go like, okay, what was the fella's name? The DJ.
Salvatore.
Yeah, Salvatore was too obscure. Ronaldo was too controversial. Let's play it safe for the next one.
Mel Gibson.
So, like, Mel Gibson. Checking the moving thread, have we?
No, actually.
Oh, actually, okay. Mike and Ted were having a whole argument about Mel Gibson the other day.
I
Because
see.
yeah, it was soon as a joke brought up that even though Mel Gibson is generally considered a racist, and he certainly said plenty of racist things, Mel nonetheless had made the movie Apocalypse, which was very, very respectful and very, very faithful of various Mesoamerican cultures involved. While Christopher Nolan has made The Odyssey, and it is like not very respectful of Greek culture. And that led to Ted and Mike having an argument over whether or not Mel Gibson is like really racist and really like whether or not he's had a real comeback or whatever. Because like Mike was saying, Mel Gibson is really racist and he's not had a comeback just because he's made one or two movies that did well. He's mostly doing crap. And Ted was saying, well, for one thing, he was drunk and he was going through a bad divorce, and I'd hate for anyone to be judged by their very worst moment in their life. And also, he has done two big movies, so he has had a comeback, yada, yada, yada. And it was one of those arguments where, like, they're both just going to say the same evidence to each other back and forth, and neither of them are going to move.
Yeah.
Which is the usual Mike and Ted.
The immovable object meets the immovable object.
Yeah. They're both just standing still.
Yeah.
Which is what most Mike and Ted arguments look like. Oh shit. God, what then is unstoppable force versus unstoppable force in our group? What arguers just honestly just fly at each other and just batter each other? I don't think we have anyone like that in our group because they'd be unbearable.
That's me when I actually get pissed off. One of them, I feel like.
Oh, you know who's just unstoppable force in terms of like I'm just going to try and keep battering you over and over? Rocky.
I mean, yeah, but he's not part of the group anymore.
No, he's not. No, he isn't. I may have had something to do with that. But in his time here, he was Mr. I'm just going to keep flying at you, and I don't care what you say back to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to state my points reasonably. I'm going to state them aggressively. I'm going to state them in such a way to make it sound like if you disagree with me, you're trying to violate my civil liberties.
Yeah. See, I never go that far, but I'm close by, I feel, when I actually get angry. I feel like you can tell how much I care about the subject of how I argue. Because like if I give your side the benefit of the doubt, I'm having a good faith argument. If I'm just like replying to half of your points, I don't actually give a shit. If I reply to everything in excruciating detail while also not reading anything you say, then I'm angry.
Oh shit!
Which thankfully I haven't been like that pissed off in like the past, I don't know, 5 years at least, more. Like I haven't been. Fuck, I haven't been. I don't think I've been that angry to argue like that since the forums.
No, it's everybody's mellowed out since the forums, largely.
Yeah.
That was That was a weird situation. I mean, we've gone way off the fighting game topic, but
Yeah.
we might want to hit the fighting games were here, particularly considering the circumstances under which the forum ended.
All right. Sure.
And actual crime was involved, though thankfully none of us participated.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
And
guess
not
fight.
even the
Yeah.
cool kind.
Yeah. That's right. Petty thievery.
Fighting games were.
Fighting games were.